Okay, are we on? Are we on? Okay. Very cool. Hi guys, good morning.
Come and get it.
Dave is currently stirring a big pot of cow glue.
This is the place where I dump it over Jed's
Okay,
back.
yeah, don't do that. It's a spry young man.
I'm gonna fall over here.
There's a wire connecting the.
Bunch of wires.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wires like at about 2 or 3 feet high. 2 feet high, Dave. As a 65-year-old man has just
67.
67-year-old man. It was 65 recently. He just stepped over it with a pot of glue. It was impressive. Yeah, I think we did a Dosa stream last week too, or last month too, didn't we?
Yeah, you were here. What? You were when
A
you were
month ago.
sketching in October or something. Right?
Yeah.
Just over a month ago. This is getting repetitive.
It is getting repetitive. How often do you do Dosa stuff?
It's around once a week or so.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one just last week. I didn't do it. Shiba-san did. Shiba-san stood here and did all her ninja work with her work doing it. Okay, gas off. That's down. This is on. This is hot. Next step, cut paper. So, tell them, why are you here?
Oh, sure. I was just watching you. Yeah, so I'm back in town for the United States, back in Tokyo for Tokyo Comic Con, which is, it's an American-style Comic Con, but here in Chiba, which is maybe 45 minutes east of Tokyo, the location where I'm going to be. So it'll be, tomorrow through Sunday evening. So that's why I'm here.
So what is today, the press preview or something?
No, today's just setup day. I need to go set up my booth. Yeah, all the carnival workers are gonna be setting up their tents.
Jed the Carney? How many years have you been doing this stuff now? Comic Cons and stuff. It's your new life, right?
5 years now. Yeah.
You've forgotten your previous life.
I have. It's got its ups and downs, but overall I'm very grateful that I have a life. I mean that my kids get to eat and stuff. So yeah, I'm grateful. Okay, let's see here. Did Dave mess up a batch of sizing when I was here in the past? I don't remember. Maybe.
I messed up one sheet, it turns around.
Oh, okay. So last time I was here, Dave was a little bit distracted talking to me, and he forgot to size one of the sheets, and then it got put into the stack and eventually processed into smaller cuts of paper for the printers to work on. And just to show how important the sizing is, when the printers went to work on it, the pigment just bled and blotched everywhere.
I know what happened because I had forgotten to size the front of one of the sheets. The glue was weak on the front of the sheet, so it turns out that when they put the pigment on the block, they put the paper down and rub it, and the paper feathered up.
Oh, like it.
Yeah. So they pulled the paper off, and half of the fibers were still left there, feathered up.
Okay, so yeah, the fibers had stuck and got pulled like cotton.
And it really shows how important this is. We really need this glue in this paper
To keep it up,
to make it
keep it together. Interesting. Just so it can hold up to the abuse.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Hi, Dad, Steve.
The part you mentioned that to stop the glue, to stop the pigment. What did you say? I don't know. To stop the pigment
From
spreading out. That's the alum in there.
The alum
does
does that.
So.
Interesting. Alum does that, huh? The glue holds the fibers together.
The glue is a physical, yeah. There might be a bit of overlap between the two. I don't really know, but the glue is a physical thing to take the abuse on the back side and make it, stay together on the front side, and the alum stops the.
Right.
I don't know the word. I forget when the pigment,
Yeah. You had it in English, or in Japanese you said it the other day.
Nijimu.
What is it? Nijimu. The bleeding.
English. All right.
Well, somebody just posted a giant penis on the thing. I think you got hacked.
Okay, right.
Okay.
What we do is we click on it, and it says block.
That's amazing. I haven't been watching this thing and it's never happened. Amazing. Booted.
It's booted.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. You gotta give them credit though for being diligent with the ASCII art.
I would imagine it's copy and pasted from somebody else. The kind of person that would post that, I think, is not the kind of person that would have the creative ability to do that. I don't
To
know.
pull it off originally.
Who knows? Who knows? It's too bad. My mother is probably on the stream now.
Oh, Dead Steve says, stop blocking. It only blocks for you. You have to ban them.
Well, what did I do? Did I?
How do you ban them?
Good question.
Hey, Steve, can you tell us how to ban them? It says block, but...
Block or report. What's this? Hang on a sec. Here we are.
But ban.
Okay.
Oh, there
good,
it is.
Good. We got it. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Thank you for the hint, sir. I also can't see these messages from this YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. There we go.
Good.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Learn something every day.
Yeah, sorry about that. So how are things going with the paper makers? I'm always curious.
It's mixed. I don't know. The crisis we had 2 years ago or so when Iwano-san's paper just cratered in quality.
Yeah.
That's done with. And they came back.
I wonder what caused that, do you
They
think?
didn't admit anything. They haven't admitted to me or any of the other printers that anything had changed. No, nothing changed. No, nothing changed.
Interesting.
But all of us had the same experience. It cratered in quality. And then after we all screamed and yelled, something came back to normal. So they had done something, changed something, and thinking it would make a difference. It did make a difference. We screamed and they said, okay, all right, we heard about that. But they didn't admit anything to any of us. No, nothing's changed.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Interesting.
Anyway, so it's back. It's back to being usable.
Interesting.
It's still on a downward slide. There's lots of cheaty, bark inside it. It's not
Right, it's better than the stuff we're getting.
Well, I don't know what you're buying. That's a different story. But,
It's better than the stuff we're
and
getting.
we're paying a lot more than what you're paying, I think, too. But anyway, to get to the story, Iwano-san's paper is back. We're using it. It's okay. But the long term, this has been a real good warning for us that at some point it's not going to be here anymore. So we're still working. We're working with Sawaki-san. We've talked about this any number of times on the stream. We're now in, I think, our third batch of test paper from him. It's still not usable for our work for production. It's just it doesn't have the right way to get the color deeply into the paper. But we're working on it, bit by bit. We've got fiber here. This is for the next batch. He was here a couple of weeks ago doing a show in Tokyo, and we looked at all the stuff up. Huh?
Okay, it was again discussing
It's
the
all locked, actually. If you can.
locked. I got it. That's good.
No, otherwise you screw up the threads.
Okay. So there's the fibers Dave's talking about.
Yeah, we show it now and then people have seen it. And a bunch of that has gone to Sawaki-san now for the next batch of testing. So.
There we go. There we go.
So it's a long process. It's a long process. And the problem being that we don't have much time to explore and test on this end, and he doesn't have much time to explore and test on his end.
He's busy doing other things.
He's making paper for his normal business. He can't shut his business down just to do testing for us.
Right.
And, when we're doing, same things here, when I'm doing sizing, I can't do one sheet as a test with a different formula. Because I've got my formula in the bucket, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to do all the sheets together. And when he's making paper, he can't make one sheet a different way.
Right.
He's got to make. So we can't easily test this.
So it's a kind of expensive and time expensive.
We can't. We've all got our normal work. And if I could take a week off or something and prepare batch A, batch B, batch C, do 2 sheets of each, and
With his paper?
or whatever, with all the different kinds of paper, just to try different sizing mixtures, and then take each of those sheets and try and moistening it this way, moistening it that way, moistening it type A, B, C, and do a ledger book and take all the notes. That's what we need to do. And none of us have the time to do that because we're staying alive. So that's why it's so slow.
So the sizing solution that you use on this paper is basically, that it works, for Iwano-san's
Yes,
paper.
and it's not working for his. Or maybe the sizing is okay, but the way we moisten the paper doesn't work. Or maybe maybe we mix the pigment and paste should be.
Is it fraying? Is that the problem, or is it?
No, it's we got that worked out right away. Because that's a question of how much glue in here. So that was easy to solve.
Okay.
It's not that it's fraying. It's that I should have a sample here to show you A and B.
Sure.
It's just the way the color looks when it's in the paper. The Iwano-san stuff makes a smooth, deep, rich texture. Sawaki-san still, we can't figure out how to make it do that.
Okay. Is it too thick?
No, it's much thinner than Iwano-san for the most part.
Okay.
No.
Interesting. Okay, let's see some comments here. DDMPK Kairos, did you finish carving the leaves? What are you up to after finishing?
Though it's on my desk downstairs. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back. I'm covering the leaves on the. If you pop up that first image from next year's series, this one here. If you pop this up, that's what I was doing yesterday. No, this one.
Okay.
I was carving up in the top left corner.
Oh, okay, cool.
The leaves and stuff. Are they leaves? I don't know. You mean you
twigs.
branches, twigs? Whatever.
It's winter time, so there's no leaves on the tree.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to discuss.
Even though it's funny, like winter. I feel like winter never fully hits in Tokyo. Not like it does in like the continent, in continental U.S.
Well, what place, what part?
I guess.
I don't know. What do you compare?
I mean, like I see leaves on the trees year round here.
Tokyo is not a heavy, deep winter place because it's on the Pacific side.
Yeah.
It's the other side, the Yukiguni side.
That gets hit hard.
Side. Yes, of course. They're already skiing.
That's amazing. I have a friend who I think he's planning on coming skiing this winter. Amazing. Okay, let's see here. Dead Steve says, have we done the freezer paper trick yet?
Well, the paper is out of the freezer. The bot thing, there was a bot command that was supposed to start automatically at 8:05, but I don't know what the status of that is.
What does it do? Remind Dave to take the paper out of the tray.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Not only, you don't just set an alarm to remind you set an alarm to remind somebody else to remind you.
They've been really good about it.
Good.
In recent months now, there hasn't been any instances of forgetting because these guys are on to it.
Corey Ngami says, we are the bots, Dave.
Yeah. It's a little, I have 200 bots or whatever's out there. So you can
That's hilarious.
Pop that off if you want. He's just going away now. So.
Oh, yeah, sure. All right, yeah. Well,
Yeah, here, 29. Turn it off. Yeah.
okay. Okay, somebody says, I bought some of the Meiji block party prints, and I received them on 2 different types of paper. Just curious as to how you decide which prints get which paper.
It's not which prints get which paper. It's the first batch of paper that we've been using. Just a minute, let me turn around a second.
Yeah. Do the thing.
The Meiji, just so people know what's going on, we scored a bunch of small little wood blocks that were illustrations for Meiji era magazines. And they were carved in wood, but they weren't printed as woodblock prints. They were type high, and they were put on a press bed with metal type to print actual magazines.
Oh.
So they would have been done, they would have, oil-based ink and in a printing press. But they were carved wood blocks. It was the era of transition between this kind of printmaking and that kind of printmaking.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have a few hundred of those blocks. They belong to Ueda-san, the guy who was helping me get old prints. He's got thousands of those things.
Okay.
So we brought over a couple of dozen of them here. And what we've been doing was we put them in our catalog. And we got some thin, we can't print it with this normal Iwano-san's paper. It's just too thick and rich. Those are delicately thin things meant to be printed on a printing press. So rather than print them on Iwano-san's paper, we got a thin, calendared, tight sheet of light paper. We've been printing it out on those for the past couple of years. We ran out of it a while back, and I can't get any more of the same type. So we just looked for a similar paper, which we did. And it sounds like the person who's got some of those prints here he's in the transition period. We're printing those on the old, some are left over from the old paper, and some from the new paper.
Interesting. So it's supply chain issues and all kinds of stuff, huh?
Yeah, well, there's nothing specifically dramatic about that. Those old blocks, as I said, they weren't meant to be printed by hand like this. We're just using them just because it's fun to have these images out there. So there is no specific kind of paper meant to be used for those.
Right.
We used what we had. It ran out. We couldn't get the same one, so we've used something else.
Interesting. Okay.
It's no actual big deal.
So there you go, Mudabori
Now that I've heard
Ningen.
this, I should put a note. I'll tell the shipping ladies to put a note in, explaining this. Now here's what happened last time, right? I did this. I sized one face, I put the next one down, talked to you, came over, put the next one down, and forgot one sheet. So today I'm going to try and keep on it.
Yeah, guys, see if you can catch it if Dave misses
Yeah,
one.
that's right. Make it somebody else's responsibility.
I'm not gonna do it. It's a fun game. Catch Dave screwing up.
They do that all the time. It's
I know they do. It's funny.
too much water.
Is that gonna hurt that one?
I'll tell you, we're within the parameters, but ideally it should just be robotic work exactly the same each one.
Okay. So okay.
So we're all right. That's the price that comes.
Rylock99 says, we love being reminded that Dave is human. That's funny. Dave, do you know what prints these papers will become?
Oh, yeah. Actually, yes and
These
no.
sheets?
No, yes and no. That's an interesting question because I don't know the answer. I do know the answer, but I don't know the answer.
Okay, cool.
So just give me a minute. This paper will become the first batch of the 2019 New Year card.
Oh, yeah.
The New Year card, which goes to our business associates.
Yeah, who designed that again?
I haven't got the idea yet.
Oh, gosh, wait, what? It's December almost.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's
You should do an Inoshishi. I know you love.
well, the New Year's card goes to a bunch of people. It goes to business associates and friends here in Japan as a the New Year gift thing.
Mm-hmm.
It also goes to Patreons. For the past year, we've been running a Patreon campaign, and almost all those people will get the New Year's card. There's hundreds of those people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to people who have been good steady customers, subscribers. All the print subscribers get one.
Mm-hmm.
And I am way behind the eight ball. And the printers now are panicking because this got to go up before the end of the year. And these guys want to get their year-end holiday. And if I give them like a 6-block with 3 gradations thing, they're just going to give it back to me and say, sorry, Dave, can't do that.
You should do one color.
That's what I'm thinking now. I desperately need an image that will be something interesting, maybe carved in one good key block. What I'm thinking is maybe a key block with something embossed on it so I can do 2 impressions, maybe a background color, so 3. A background color, a key block image with something in the background lightly, and then something embossed. Is what I'm thinking that I gotta get hunting for pretty soon.
Oh gosh.
I'm preparing the paper now before I even have the blocks,
That's
before
okay.
I even have the design. That's how chaotic things are these days right here. But the other half of this paper, like that, is for the New Year's card. The other half is for the little fisherman print. Because I followed your instructions the other day about that mailing. It's all Jed's fault. I followed the instructions about the mailing and the orders have poured in.
Good.
Poured in, and we don't have enough, and Susan's going to get busy and she needs this paper.
The Kingfisher?
So these are going to be half of these are going to be New Year's cards, and half of these are going to be Kingfisher.
Okay. Interesting. And that's why you cut it where you did?
Well, no, I cut it where I did because, just hang on a sec. I would like to size it all in one big piece without cutting it.
Right.
I don't have a brush that big, we don't have a bucket this big.
Okay.
So I cut it in, if I cut it in half, it doesn't work, because this is going to be 5. I want one
Right.
row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows.
Okay.
So it doesn't, cutting in half doesn't work.
Okay, so you gotta cut it on the 3/5
3,
line.
5, yeah, 3 and 2. When
Got
we do your heroes prints, it's a large one, we do 8, so we cut that in half and size the whole batch all at once.
Okay, somebody just signed in from Sergeant Lewis 141, just signed in from Europe. Me gosh says Jed's here again. Hello. Hello again.
Europeans are going to bed now. For Europe now, it's like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we don't get too many Europeans as opposed to North Americans here.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Cal's on.
How's he coming with Inoshishi? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, hey Cal, how's the Inoshishi print going? The the boar.
Is that top secret? Can you pop a link in, or is
No,
it?
he's been putting it on Instagram and stuff. Let's see.
If you're gonna talk about it, ask him to pop a link in here.
Yeah, if somebody could pop a link to my Instagram account. I've got.
You don't know the URL.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's long. Well, it's longish. if somebody could pop a link of it to my Instagram account.
Start counting down. 5, 4.
It's got the design that I designed for Cal
2.
for working on for New Year's. Thanks,
It's
guys.
great. Ask and it shall be delivered.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you very much. So anyway, Cal and I are working on that because Cal asked for a design for the new year, so that's what he gets. We probably won't have that one ready by the new year, the big one, but
Big one.
well, he saw the design that I gave him, and I think it was more than he wanted for just the New Year card.
Is that the squarish?
Yeah,
one?
and it's a boar with a New Year's wreath around its neck. And so we cut off the rest of the image just at the wreath, so it's the wreath with the boar head. And he's doing that for a small card, and then he'll do the whole design.
For an actual print.
Yeah, for an actual print. Yeah. Okay.
For those who don't know, Jed's working now in recent years, I guess, or in recent years, with lots of different people. For years, Jed only worked with us. He sent designs to us, we made them. Now you're working with how many guys?
Regularly three people who.
So you're publishing woodblock prints yourself.
Yes.
Publishing, not just your own designs.
I'm branching
other
into
artists. Jed's become a publisher.
Yeah.
Whose designs? Give me
Me and Watanabe. Wait, what? What did you say?
What other designers? I mean, you.
Oh, right. So my whole model is like I can't make designs for everybody and keep everybody busy. So I've just been surfing Instagram looking for artists that I like, and then specifically for designs that I know will easily translate into woodblock prints, or semi-easily. I tried commissioning some artists to do some work for me, and it ended up just being a bit of a disappointment because I realized that the vision that I have for what I think an artist will do doesn't usually end up being what they actually produce. It's probably the frustration you have when you work with me.
I'm just listening. It's okay.
But yeah, I'm probably feeling what you feel. But I commissioned some work from some artists and it didn't work out. So then I realized I need to just find images that have already been completed and approach the artist specifically about this image. I want to turn this image into a woodblock print. And that has really smoothed things out. And so we've done a design with Nicholas Namiri. Yeah, he's on Instagram and he's a fabulous artist. I think he's French, but he lives in Beijing. And then we've done design with Natalie Hall, who's a really talented tattoo artist and illustrator from LA, and she's really amazing. And then we've contracted with Emerson Tung to do like a mech, like this samurai mech suit wood print that we're gonna do. And William's working on that one. So yeah, just whenever I'm on Instagram and I see a design that I think that will make a great wood print.
When Jed says we here, just for me, it doesn't mean you and me and Dave.
Oh.
We're doing his ukiyo-e heroes.
Yeah, by we I mean me.
About his other stable of carvers and printers to show
Yeah.
your building.
Yeah, we're trying to get them experience. And Cal's on here, and he's one of those people who's working hard, and William Francis is working hard.
And
And
that was part of your original vision back in 2012 when we started that first Kickstarter, right?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
You said so. You wanted to help kick, Japanese woodblock printmaking back into life.
Yeah, and it's happening, bit by bit. Okay, let's see. We have a question from Sergeant Lewis. Question to Jed. David tried in the past to get Studio Ghibli's attention for prints. How did you get Nintendo?
Let's shut the stream down here.
We never really got Nintendo, so we just kind of like American copyright law has some precedent in it. It's not actual like legislated law, but there is case precedent where some cases have created a thing called the fair use doctrine that basically says it includes one of the things that fair use doctrine includes is parody. And so by taking the original work and then putting it in a different style for like a cultural commentary, we justifiably qualify as parody, and therefore really Nintendo has never bothered us. So if you want to Google fair use parody in Wikipedia, there's a list of all the qualifying factors you need to be able to qualify as fair use. At least in the United States. I don't know about other countries' laws. Japan is more strict. They don't have. I don't think Japan has like a legal precedent type of legal system, do they?
the thing that Americans understand as fair use doesn't exist here at all.
Right. Yeah. So, in other words, Japanese people probably view us as like, like Wild West, China,
Yes, exactly.
rip-off type
In
stuff.
Japan these days, if you're either licensed or you're a pirate, there's no in between.
Oh, Cal says he's shooting to have the big image done by New Year's Day. That's right. You told me that. I'm sorry. You told me that. I apologize for that, Cal. All right. Treadmill. Yeah, I'm a year of the boar too. I forgot, but that's true.
But the question is the Nintendo versus Ghibli thing.
What about it? Oh, so yeah, Dave just didn't want to he didn't even want to go there with Ghibli because they're such a national treasure, as it were, you know what I mean? And they're such an icon that he really just doesn't want to rock the boat with them. So he hasn't ventured there personally with his printmaking, even though I've done some designs. Dave doesn't want to go there, which is understandable.
Well, it was that's partly right, partly true. Part of it was that when we did things like the what design we call Fox Moon, the fox and the animals flying in the sky, I personally find that clearly parody. Nintendo can't copyright the idea of a fox in the air standing on a cloud.
Right,
So
we changed it a lot.
I feel comfortably, morally, not just legally, but some of the designs you've done with sort of some movie things and some Ghibli, I don't think they're changed enough.
Too close.
I feel comfortable morally.
Fair enough. Yeah, I live in the American Comic Con world where I'm probably
the Wild West.
yeah, where I'm probably one of the most.
You follow the rules and be careful.
Yeah. I'm probably being more.
conscientious.
I'm being more careful than most people. There are people who will straight up just draw out
just something straight. Yeah.
exactly the way it's depicted in a Ghibli movie and sell it, and nobody cares because America. I don't know, because Comic Cons. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, somebody says Nicholas Nemiri does great work. Reminds me of Yoshitaka Amano. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, if we could get like Amano if we could like do an Amano design as a wood print, that'd be amazing. That would be a goal. Oh gosh, he's like one of my favorites of all time. Let's see. Okay, Rylock99 says, may I ask what happened to the Neo Tokyo project? Is it still work in progress? Yes, Rylock. So William worked really hard and he got a bunch of test prints ready. And I came and I showed them to Dave here in the studio. Dave gave us a bunch of really helpful feedback. That was back in November, so a month ago. Late October, a month ago. And so I brought that feedback back to William, and William's excited to follow it and improve the prints until they're ready to sell. They aren't quite at a level where we want to sell them yet. They're absolutely not at a level where we want to sell them yet. So William is just working hard and doing like batch after batch, trying to improve each time until they're ready for the market. And we feel confident that the quality will be there. So it's funny though, because he's stuck in this poor William is stuck in this what's the word, like I don't know, like he's stuck in like Groundhog Day, right? Or what was that movie, the Tom Cruise movie, Live Die Repeat? Oh, that was the new brand that they put for it. Anyway, Edge of Tomorrow, basically, where William wakes up every day and has to reprint that design over and over. And so he doesn't do it every day, but he's done many batches of that one design, and he's maintained a very good attitude as he just goes back to it over and over as we try to improve it.
He's trying to compress 40 years of experience into one.
It's called Yaruki. What's that, like ambition or like?
That's whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. We're impatient young people. You know how it is. Someone says, please tell me that Dave is Year of the Ox. Dave, what year are you on the Chinese zodiac?
Myself, I was born in 1951, which makes me a rabbit.
I see it.
My parents are both rabbits too.
Dead Steve, actually, I've been approached by art directors at Blizzard multiple times to do prints and stuff. Not so much recently, but like a couple times in the past couple of years. Yeah, art directors at Blizzard have come by and said, "Hey, I want to do something," and I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather do the parody stuff than commission stuff, because the minute you start doing commission stuff,
They tell you what to do.
they tell you what to do, and it's always like a board of people who have like conflicting ideas about stuff, and politics gets involved, and it just gets obnoxious.
That's the thing you tried to do, the big advertising thing 3 or 4 years ago. Was that Suntory? They were.
Yeah, it was the worst.
But I wish that had happened. That plan for the train station.
Oh, yeah.
4-meter high, 40-meter wide billboard with a Jed Henry design on it. It was prepped. It was proposed. It was mocked up. Jed drew it, but it never happened.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah. See, I did
Should be
it.
a station.
I did a design. 40
meters long.
Yeah, I did a design with Suntory, and it was for a Suntory green tea ad, and they wanted this big panorama of the sumo stadium from the Edo period, and I did an excellent job on it. And then they came back. I thought it was all done. We were doing all the nitpicky things.
Could you one day post that? Do you have rights to it or
I
not?
don't know. I could post it. I don't know.
The deal was they made this kind of tea, and it's takes off Shiba, whatever. It women don't get fat. It dissolves the fat in your body, good or bad, or true or false, whatever. Who knows?
Snake oil.
Drink this green tea, and you won't
Melts the
Melts the fat. So of course the point was the point of this image was, imagine a stadium, sumo guys, right? Big hulky fat muscle, whatever. And what would they be most afraid of? And there's this green tea, and they're all like, "Oh my God, I gotta get out of here!" And it's 5,000 sumo guys trying to run away and scramble.
Right, so
and
it was
fight each other and get away from it. It was so cool.
The sumo dohyo was in the middle of the composition, like the sumo platform, the podium, and then the tea was standing there. I think with
belt.
like a Shinto belt around it, or
Mawashi.
something. The mawashi, and then all the sumo wrestlers, just a stampede of hundreds of wrestlers, were just crawling over each other to get away from it, and it was fun. And then anyway, we were doing the final tweaks on this image, and I had been working on it day and night for weeks.
Flew you over here to do this?
Yeah, I flew out. I'd been working day and night for weeks because of the time zone difference. I was working through the night to make these people happy, because I was up while they were working in Japan and I was in the United States. And then they just came back to me saying, "Hey, we just had a meeting and we want you to like redo a bunch of the faces." And I kind of lost it. I said, "Look, you guys are gonna have to pay me more. Like I said, I thought we were doing like the final tweaks on this thing, and I thought we were sanding it down, and then they asked me to go back to some rough edits, and it was super frustrating." So I said, "You guys are gonna have to pay me more if you want these changes," and they said, "We'll absolutely not pay you more." And then I called them unprofessional, and then they just went quiet. They just ignored me from then on. I don't know.
Did you get a kill fee?
Yeah, they paid me full for it. I got paid for it, but it was
But they never ran the campaign?
yeah, it was weird. We had a fight, and then they killed the thing, and so they didn't even concede on it. Like I said, "You guys need to pay me more," and then it was just done. They wouldn't even talk about, "Okay, it's good as it is," or, "Hey, what if we just gave you like another $500 and you redid it all?" Like they got offended and walked away.
Were you working through an agency or talking directly?
Yeah, it was the agency. It was the ad agency that I was talking to. And I've learned also since then that I don't ever want to do work for ad agencies again. Because, yeah, those people they're workaholic.
When this project was cooking, I was through Shibuya Station one day, and I'd heard about this, so I knew the specific area where this was going to be planned for. The Yamate Line trains go through Shibuya Station. There's one place where there's a special billboard. Normally there's small billboards everywhere. There's one place where it's, I guess, 4 meters high and about 40 meters long. So I went down and took some pictures of it, thinking that this is where Jed's picture is going to be. And it never happened. It was too bad.
Yeah.
But it really would have been cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I got paid. Made some enemies.
Gained some weight.
Gained a little weight.
Drink more of that tea.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Arbitrary changes are terrible. I wish you could ask clients why they want to make a change like that. Yeah. So I since then I learned a lesson about about taking jobs like that, and now I say, okay, you have two passes where I'll do rough sketches for you, and this is just where we figure out the basic composition. Like this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here on the composition. That's all we're figuring out, and basic gestures and stuff like that. If it's got like figurative work in it, and then I say once you're done with those 2 or 3 passes of the rough composition, you're locked in. You cannot change the basic composition ever again. So you need to make decisions in that phase. And then once the basic composition's figured out, we then go to like a tighter sketch phase where they have 3 passes of revisions where I'll draw it, they ask me to change something, I'll draw it, they ask me to change something. We do that 3 times.
What heaven are you living in?
And then it's locked in. That's whenever anybody approaches me now for a job, I have a form email that I kind of copy paste and adjust a little bit and say, hey, here's my terms.
And this is why you're not doing many.
This is why I don't do a lot of work, because I scare people away. But I say, yes, I'll do the job. Here's my way of doing it. It protects both of us. So if you want to work this way, that's great. And yeah, sometimes they go, no, we don't work that way. And I say, cool. I do. So see ya. Okay, somebody just said, hey, I greatly appreciated that Moku Hong Kong sends out a reminder about the deadline for gift prints. Thank you. Good job, Dave.
We sent our first message about the gift prints out when we got the first print ready. That would have been in mid-November. And I thought that was enough, just one message. I don't want to spam our mailing list. This is what I'm thinking. That was enough. We got a bunch of orders, and then it tapered off and became quiet. I was watching, I'm on Jed's email list, and I started to receive messages from Jed about, get a free t-shirt or whatever.
We did Black Friday sale.
So, because Jed's living in a more American environment, he did a bunch more mailers, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. But I felt, what's the borderline between letting people know what you've got and between spamming? And I've really been afraid of doing this, so I just do not want to, I've been too shy about it. So seeing Jed's things come out made me think, okay, I'm not going to spam people, but yeah, maybe I should send this thing one more time. So Cameron and I did it one more time with a notice that the deadlines are approaching. And a flood of orders, which is why I'm doing this sizing here right now, because we're out of it. So you were right.
Yeah.
But still, I got to say this, where's the balance between informing people and spamming them? And I don't know.
So if anybody here is on my email list and feels like I send too many emails, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be judicious about it. I've decided that I'll do an email blast, like a 1 to 3 days in a row, maybe once a month, and that's and so yeah, Kontar says 1 is really enough for me, and I understand that. It's so funny because so many people just don't check their email. And so while some people are really on top of it, other people aren't. And so by sending them one a day for 2 or 3 days, it makes sure that everybody sees it. And it's funny, I can see on MailChimp, it shows the stats of how many people are opening these things. And it'll say on the first day, 30% open it. On the second day, 25% open it. On the third day, 23% open it. So it's not just falling off. So I don't know what to do, It's a balance.
I get it. For me, if I know you, so when I see these things come in, I'm okay. But if I hadn't known you, if I got 1 every day for 4 days in a row, that flips my switch to this is spam.
Yeah.
Just whatever, that's my personal.
Wait, if you see what?
If I see the same email come 4 days in a row,
oh, right.
For me, that's where it flips over to spam. So.
Okay, somebody says, I feel like you send too many emails. Dead Steve, are you talking about to Dave or to me? Because Dave does not send too many emails. I do.
Morning. Hey, come in and say hello, Johnny Cobb. There's cables here, but I think you're okay. Don't go past here. That's
okay.
Cables. Do you know this guy?
Hi, Cameron. Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How's your family being in town?
Great.
Cameron's here.
I'm here. I'll still let you run the stream, though. Art of the King is awesome.
Oh yeah, somebody watched Art of the Game. Thank you for watching that. I got an email from I got an emergency Skype call from the filmmaker a couple weeks ago saying, Yeah, you got one too.
Oh, the car, yeah.
Where Toru called you,
Yeah.
and he was like, this thing is just dead in the water. Can you, like, help me out?
Yeah.
No, that's what he told me. He told me, I'm in debt. I need some help. I'm
Oh, yeah, he owes his distributor money, like a lot of money.
I
Like,
don't quite think I believe that, but whatever.
he says he owes his distributor. We won't say the amount, but it is like, it is,
Whatever.
Not
it is
insignificant.
the cost of a medium-sized automobile. What he owes his publisher or his distributor, and we were like, oh, okay. So anyway, I put Art of the Game on my Instagram feed, so if you guys see it on there, that's why. Someone says, how is that possible?
Put the whole movie up in 1 minute segments.
No, I just put the link up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny though. I think they only let you up to like
Yeah, but the thing about
1 minute video.
when I was talking to him too, I brought up the thing about the airplane deal. He hadn't mentioned that, so I said, Toru, I know this thing about being in the airplane systems. It's really been cool. Lots of people have seen it there. You know, it's really helping. And he sort of cut me off before I could even finish what I was saying. He said, the airplane thing, shit, we don't get any money for that. That's just for sort of PR. And he blew it off like he didn't even care about it.
Yeah.
And it's helped our business more than
So much.
any single thing we could ever think of. People come in the door, they saw it on the airplane, landed at Narita, threw their bags in storage, came to Mokuhanka, you know, it was like that kind of experience. And he said, the airplanes, that's nothing. We don't care about that.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's a windfall for us, but
But I guess hasn't been helping him.
yeah.
himself.
Law, what? Did he pay them to distribute or what? Yeah, so Bento, that's the way that I don't know anything about how like the whole LA movie thing works, but
I mean, it's not our movie. We have nothing to do with
Right,
with
we
making
were the-
it, distributing it.
You were the
putting it in
subject.
front of
we were the
yeah,
natural
we were just in front of
resources
the
that he
camera.
mined.
Yeah.
So it's not our movie in any way, shape, or form in a legal sense.
Right.
We didn't even know it showed up in the airplanes. We didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, he never keeps us. He didn't know
He
it.
doesn't tell.
Well,
because his
he
distributors
said-
did that.
yeah, the distributors do it.
I'm
He
not
says
gonna
he doesn't
argue
know.
about that, but yeah.
So I don't know how the whole like LA movie distribution thing works, but yeah, he had to pay the distribution company, and then they're the ones who have all the connections and put it where they thought they needed to put it, I guess. So if anybody's from like the whole Hollywood scene, maybe let me know if that's a correct impression. But yeah. Okay, let's see.
And whether it's true or not, part of the sort of backstory on this is when he made that movie, he asked us up front, what's the deal with Nintendo? Do we have copyright clearance and stuff? And we told him clearly, we have nothing like that. We don't have any connection with those people. If you think there's copyright material in this movie, it's you got to take care of it from your end. And he said, no problem. But I think that now that it's made, he's having trouble selling it to places like German broadcasting and BBC and whatever, because they're asking him, is there clearance on these characters? And he doesn't have that, so they're saying, sorry guy, we ain't gonna touch this. I don't know, but I'm guessing that might be a factor.
We're toxic. Don't
But
touch us.
this is why it's in the airplane seat back system. 30,000 feet in the air in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Who cares about copyright? What jurisdiction are you under?
Right, it's international waters.
Whatever. So pirates, that's where pirates operate. So that's where
I love
it.
Literally Kaizoku.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. Sky Pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah.
No, it-
You,
Sky pirates.
Zed Steve, it sounds so much more epic when you say that. That sounds like a print. Like a Meiji era steampunk Dave making prints on a flying ship. Skies of Arcadia video game prints incoming. Well,
That's been an idea, a seed that's floated around here for a long time. You know,
What?
the steampunk thing. You've touched that on some of the Ukiyo Heroes prints.
Oh,
the
yeah.
dead robots in Blue Storm, stuff like this. You've touched this a little bit. The
Final Fantasy.
Mecha in the Flight of Fantasy. And that's a vein that I think at some point could be mined, whether it's Ukiyo Heroes or whether it's a totally separate thing.
Sure.
Steampunk as a genre, because it would just do so well.
it might. I don't know. I don't understand the whole steampunk crowd. If anybody here is in the steampunk crowd, you could like
No, I'm just speaking simply visually.
enlighten me.
Because it also, something else you showed me last night, I forget the guy's name, you showed me a cutaway ramen restaurant.
Yeah.
At least this is not the same thing, but we're in
Technical drawing.
something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that works really well at our end.
I want steampunk to get popular again, says somebody.
Oh yes, please do steampunk.
Well, when you go to Comic Cons, there's always the crowd of people in steampunk. But the thing about steampunk that's funny is that it's always like Victorian looking.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Industrial Revolution kind of made its biggest mark, because that's where it was invented. So like all of the trimmings and trappings and tropes. Well, I just got triple treat TR words. Hello, Matsukimasa.
Don't say hello.
デートさん久しぶり。
Hey,
We're
Yoki.
interrupted by Sugi-san here. Come in, say hello, say hello, say hello, say hello.
映らないように。あれどこだ？
It's okay. You're not going to give them your virus. It's good. Sugi-san, she's down. She was off yesterday sick. She's up today. You don't look so good. Are you okay?
はい、オッケー。オッケー。
She's working on one of your friends. She's working on the infestation design.
Oh yeah, mimashita. 途中の。
見ました。あ、途中のありがとう。
This is a measure of she's sick. She drags herself into work today to work on one of
俺
her
も病気の時に
friends.
働きますよ。
本当。
But I work in my basement, so it's easier for me to work when I'm sick.
Yeah. Let's walk
So I just go downstairs and sit in a big pile of blankets with hot tea and my stylus and be grouchy.
Be grouchy.
Okay. Did you see Magic the Gathering's Kaladesh? It's Aetherpunk, more of an Indian filigree inspired version instead of Victorian. I love that Kontar. I'll check that out, dude.
Yeah. I didn't mean like do steampunk exactly as a genre, but
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that kind of approach to drawing and
And I see, and Kontar, that's like my whole thought is like every time I do like a steampunky thing, I try to imagine it as if it had been a Meiji period thing, like you know, late 1800s, early 1900s Japan.
Have you seen Steam Boy, the anime film?
Yeah, but that's more like honestly, that's more like
It is
diesel
a little more,
punk.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call that because there's steam in it, but it's like diesel punk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that one being a fun movie.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Boom. What do we got? Somebody's making a yokai cyberpunk trading card game. That's rad. That's super cool.
Kickstarter or something else?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Owen
more.
Press says that. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. Jed, are you going to any cons next year?
Every single one.
Yeah, I'm a con junkie. I keep going to them.
They're a con artists.
She's going to a con this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm going to a con this afternoon. Yeah, so here in my, I'll just show you. I'll open up my doc that shows all the cons I'm going to. So I keep a record of all the Comic Cons that I'm applying to, all the contacts of like the floor people who run the show, so I know their name, their emails, and then I make a note of every time I had a communication with them so that I know what the ongoing conversation is with them. Because you got to juggle these relationships with people in order to like get into these stupid Comic Cons.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly like contacting, recontacting, updating the conversation with these people. So, okay, so here's the Comic Cons. If it's grayed out, it means that the show was a huge disappointment, and we're not doing it again.
Maybe a bigger, if you put it for this camera.
Oh no, it's fine. So yeah, so every line is a different Comic Con I plan on going to next year. Whoa! Wow. Yeah. So there you go.
But if they're grayed out, that means you aren't actually going to do it anymore.
No. So the gray ones are. I keep them in there to remind me, like, don't get tempted.
Got it.
Buy that one again.
You mentioned that what Comic Cons are sort of overbuilt over there. There's too many now. And it's what filtering out. Battle of the survival of the fittest. or whatever,
Yeah.
something.
The megafauna are out competing. The little,
The mega fun.
the things at the niche of the food chain. Yeah.
But that's America. What about Britain, Europe, whatever?
Yeah. I don't know. We're testing out the UK market right now with William. He lives over there, so he goes to cons for me over in the UK. And if you guys follow him on his Instagram, you've seen his posts about that. He enjoys it. Okay, let's see. One day Jed will come to London cons. One day. Yeah, I went back in 2015, and it was fun. I really loved London. It was the first time I had been, to quote, Europe. I don't know. Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah. But anyway, London was beautiful. I loved it, and I'd love to come back someday. Any chance you're doing any North Carolina cons next year? Ken, what's over in North Carolina? I forget. Do you guys have a big con there? Yeah, let me know.
And
Yes,
CCC.
we did New York Comic Con. I was there, Akira.
That's a big con. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at New York Comic Con last year, and I'll be there this year. Just look me up. Did you ever come across Adam Savage at any of the cons? I forget. Do I know an Adam Savage? Adam. Oh, like Adam is that
One of the MythBusters guys.
Is he
Yeah,
the?
yeah, Mythbusters.
Oh, is that his name? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I meet celebrities sometimes, but like,
Europe does not equal the EU. Indeed.
okay, that's fair. Yes, that's true. That's a political boundary, and then that's the whole like geographical boundary. Which I contend that Europe, even as a geographical boundary, is more of a political boundary because the Ural Mountains do not constitute a completely different continent. In my opinion, it's not like there's a west of the Rocky Mountains continent and an east of the Rocky Mountains continent.
Don't tell California; they might think.
Right. It's I see.
So you ask.
I see an equivalent in Europe. I think it's more of a. Oh, they're different from us. There's some mountains here. Let's conveniently call this another continent. Sorry, that's my opinion about things. Not the Paul Walrus. I've never seen Adam Savage at a Comic Con. I do see celebrities from time to time. Yeah. Oh, cool. He does a few cosplays, but it fully converts his body, so people don't recognize him.
He did a Totoro and No Face.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's cool.
Oh, right. Cool.
Raleigh SuperCon.
Okay,
July
cool.
25th.
July 25th. Okay, cool. I'll look into it. Okay.
We're gonna process some orders. You've got this down.
Right, there's flea market activity. I think there's.
Yes, I saw quite a few.
Also, too, what I've done is I changed the mailing on that because they were normally going to the orders at Mokanka. I don't see them. We need to see those. It's like pink parties.
Yeah, 'cause those go downstairs.
Yeah, so I flipped the mailing.
Yeah, Akira, New York Comic Con's a good con.
Okay.
So I am.
I agree.
doing those, and we'll take care.
I like
of
New
the
York Comic Con.
website.
Okay.
It's got a good vibe.
I'll do payments and invoices.
Cameron, how was hanging out with your family here?
That's great. We had a lot of fun.
Cool. And your nephew came out with your sister?
Yep. Yeah, one of the 3 boys. She has
How old is he?
12.
He's 12? That's
Yeah.
cool. Was that cool for him?
Yeah, actually.
Is he a dork? Is Japan like fun for him?
Yeah.
Okay,
it was
cool.
great.
That's cool. Because like I brought out some nieces and they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. You weren't here.
No.
And they were not dorks, and so their appreciation of Japan was just so much different than mine because they're not nerds. And so yeah, it's funny.
Oh, he was great. We went into a book off and he was just like, manga everywhere, yay!
That's awesome. Did he buy a bunch?
Not a bunch, but he did get some. He liked Full Metal Alchemist and My Hero Academia.
In Japanese?
Yeah,
So
I
he
don't
doesn't-
think he'll ever read them, but he has them. You can look at the pictures.
That's cool.
Yeah,
My Hero Academia is really good.
that's what I heard.
Someone says, how was Awesome Con for you in DC? I met your friend there at the Heroes booth, and it seems like the con is extremely well attended. Yeah, Kantar. My buddy Bryce was running that show because I was at a Comic Con in Boston that same weekend, and he had a much better experience than I did.
Next year you'll go to that one.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. He has family in DC, so I let him go to the DC shows so he can see them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's the upside of being a carny.
A Connie?
A connie, yeah.
The DC show, DC Comic.
No, like Washington DC.
Yeah.
So the the funny thing about Awesome Con, was it Awesome Con? No, it was a different con. We couldn't make it. Wait, which Awesome Con? Which one was Awesome Con?
You go to too many cons.
Too many cons. Sorry, I was thinking of another DC con. Yeah, he went to Awesome Con. There's another DC con called Otakon in DC, and that one's funny because it goes seriously from like 8 a.m. to like 11 p.m. every day, and so the people running the booths, they don't get a rest, they barely get to go to the bathroom, they don't get to eat, and they're stuck in their booth from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And so by day 3, my buddy was running the show. He said, so screw it, I need to go get out of this booth for a second, and so he made a little sign saying like, I will be back in 2 hours. I need to eat food. so he took a dinner break and actually went and ate. So yeah.
Take a picture of Jed on our street.
Yeah.
Let's see. Prediction. In the future, the whole world will be a, quote, con. And people will go to cons to be normal. You know, it's funny. The whole
shot and me doing this while he's taking care of that.
the Comic-Con thing's funny though, because like I think it's basically just a physical representation of like the nerdier corners of Reddit, basically. So the Comic-Cons are basically just it's like surfing like nerdy chat areas on Reddit, subreddits, but in physical form. It feels like a big organized, literally a web, right? It's a grid of booths that you go and peruse. So it's funny that it's like internet but in physical form, or maybe the internet is just like a market but in digital form. That's probably the better analogy. DesignerCon in Anaheim was a bit of a disappointment this year because it was 3 times larger. So people had con fatigue from all the booths. Good for the attendees, but not the sellers. Jed, I remember you had a booth there several years ago. Yeah, so HB thingy, we did do a booth at DesignerCon, and that was the year that they doubled the size. They added an extra hall, and they put us in the new hall that none of the attendees even knew was there. And so we spent a bunch of money to get out there, to get a hotel and get flight, get our booth spot. You know, a booth slot costs about $1,000, which is insane. And so if the con doesn't sell well, like we could actually be in danger of losing money. And so that one was like right on the line. And so we had to quit going to that one just because you're right. It was good for the attendees, but not good for the exhibitors because it's too many people and not enough attendees to kind of, spread the purchases around. So I had to, even though I love DesignerCon and I love like the indie toy scene and the indie print scene, like it's so fun, I can't go to that one anymore. At least not as an exhibitor. Physical. A physical form of Reddit sounds highly problematic. Yeah, downvote. Let's see. I feel like you'd have to stockpile liquidized meals and drink them under the table between people. Yeah, so Dead Steve. So drinking is a problem too. Like, because at least for example, New York Comic Con, there are not very many bathrooms in that. There are not many bathrooms in that convention hall. And the one that I was closest to, it took about 10 minutes just to walk to it because it was so crowded. Like it took me forever just to walk to the bathroom. And then when I got there, I had to stand in line. Even in the men's room, there was a line. So my heart goes out to the ladies. Sorry about that. I honestly think that architects need to get with it and make way bigger women's rooms than men's rooms.
Are you wearing a diaper this morning?
No. But so I had to wait in line in the men's room, and then I finally got to pee, and I came back, and that was on day 1 of New York Comic Con. So then for the rest of the week, I said, okay, I am allowed to drink like a little glass of water in the morning, and then that's it. I'm not allowed to drink until the show floor ends at 7 o'clock. So like I'm like super dehydrated, but like if I go to the bathroom, like I lose money. So I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom because it takes 20 minutes to go to the bathroom.
Keep a cup under your bench or something or whatever.
That's a bit much. You can't.
How much is it worth to you?
So I have, So guys, I do have this. I have considered. Like a catheter?
I don't really want to talk about it. Just change the topic, please. Just leave that.
Doing like a catheter with like a pee sack, like strapped to my leg. I've never done it, but
and sit there drinking all day like this.
Somebody says, "Oh, geez, that's messed up, Dave. It's good to have a boot helper." Yeah. They sell special things for pilots, haha.
Well, they're called diapers, aren't they?
No, catheters. They do catheters.
What, a little bag or something?
Yeah, well, I think the way that works, I don't really know a lot, but you put
like a condom with a little sack associated.
I think it's a tube you put into your urethra.
Inside?
I think so.
Oh.
I think. Is anybody?
Outside, just like a condom that's connected to a little bag to show. I don't know. I have no
I
experience.
don't know. I've never used one.
Change the subject, please.
Change of subject. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're getting PG-13. I bet you could rock a nice diaper, Jed. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Somebody says, don't do anything invasive. Don't be crazy. Not necessary. Cool. Good job. Good call, Ken. Okay, cool. Good advice, guys. I'm glad that we discussed this.
Don't stick anything
I'm glad
in
we
your
can-
dick. Yeah, right.
Okay. Cool.
Coming next week on Japanese woodworker making. Special guest Jed Henry.
Somebody says, get used to it now, Jed. When you're old with prostate problems, you'll probably have to wear one.
Look, I told you, change the subject. Let's get out of here.
Everybody, this is what we want to talk about, Dave. The people have spoken.
Not this man.
Okay. Whoa, someone says, whoa, Dave being real here.
Huh? Pardon me?
Oh, okay, cool. Dave, you were right about the external.
Yeah, I don't know what you're.
Okay, he's done. Dave's done, guys. We're gonna leave it alone today. Cool. Good to know. Bet bull. Oh, your mother says yes. Move on. Sorry, Mrs. Bull.
Fridge has spoken.
Sorry. Okay, I feel chastised now. Okay, cool. So I don't even know where to go from now. Crickets. That was really what I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so in terms of like celebrities, I'm actually kind of excited for Tokyo Comic Con starting tomorrow because last year I ran.
Stan Lee was the big one last year, wasn't he?
He was there, but they had like
He won't be there this year.
no.
I hope.
If he's there, he's haunting it. Maybe benevolently though, not in like a malevolent way.
So who's coming? Who's the?
Last year I met what's his name? The artist who does One Punch Man. What is his name? Gosh. I forget now. Oh, Murata. Yeah. Mr. Murata. I met him last year, and that was really cool.
You met him or he met you? I mean,
We took a photo together, and that was really cool. So
at your booth? So he knew what you were doing?
Yeah, he came up to me. Mr. Murata came up and bought one of my One Punch Man prints.
Did you know who he was?
I didn't know who he was. I had no idea who he was. He's a very tall Japanese man. Yeah, he's about 6 feet tall. He's taller than me. And this tall Japanese dude comes up and buys one from me. And I'm like, here you go. And then he had a minder, like a
helper. Whatever.
yeah. He was like a helper, minder, gopher, and also translator because he was an American guy. And he goes, dude, do you know who this man is? And I was like, no. And he goes, that's Murata Sensei, and he drew One Punch Man, the manga about which your image is parodying. And I was like, and I instantly, I handed him his cash back and said,
Service. This one.
Yeah. And then I said, here, this is service. Thank you very much. But can we take a photo? And then we took a photo together.
So he was cool with the.
Yeah, he was super cool. He came up and bought one and wanted one. And then I was like, yeah, I'm sure he doesn't have money problems, but yeah.
When there's a side story that somebody, if they were looking for a legal thing here,
right, they could have
buy
bought
one,
that
get the receipt, and that's the claim to take you to court with or whatever.
Right.
This man is selling these things.
That's actually
that's what was.
That's what my father used to do. So my dad did a little moonlighting. He's a lawyer, and he did some moonlighting as a copyright guy. And I remember he did that.
In order to make the legal claim, you have to show that they're selling.
Right.
it.
So he would order it.
Yeah.
He would get it in line, and yeah. We're not that bad. But anyway.
Who are there? I mean, I remember you telling me, what's the guy that did the Ninja Turtles? I forget his name, difficult to pronounce. Brian, from Nickelodeon. You showed me a photograph. He was at your booth on one of these.
Mr.
farms.
Konetsko.
Yes.
Brian Konetsko. Yeah, the guy who created Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
Well, co-created with Mike DiMartio. DiMartino. I forget Mike's last name, but anyway, Mike and Brian. So Brian came and got a print from me a couple years at San Diego Comic-Con, and that's actually blossomed into a really nice friendship. So yeah, Brian Konecko bought my Avatar fan art, and then again we took a picture. I gave it to him for free.
Well, they hired you later.
And then later he got me a couple of jobs with Dark Horse on working on Avatar properties, and he really liked it.
Is that thing commercially available? It was a coloring book, wasn't it?
It was a coloring book.
Is
yeah.
it out there in the world? Can we? Is there an Amazon link to it or something? Or?
Sure. I like the Legend of Korra one better. I did a Legend of Korra one, and I think it worked out better. So.
So it's available in commercially as a coloring book.
Yeah, I see it at
Designed
Comic Cons all the time at the Dark Horse booth.
Is it in? Can we get a link to this? Because I thought
If somebody wants to.
I saw you doing that. I thought the designs were really cool. I don't know anything about the game, but you showed me that set of panels.
It's anime. It's anime.
Okay.
It's American anime, which is like globalism at its finest. American anime, made by Koreans. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what people say here.
Link.
So a friend of mine got stuck on the freight elevator with William Shatner and Henry Winkler at this year's Raleigh SuperCon. Shatner looked at Winkler and said, "Can't you do something about this?" Winkler bumped the elevator panel with his fist and said, "Ah!" It didn't help.
Who's going to be the last man alive in that situation?
William Shatner versus Henry Winkler? Henry Winkler?
すごい。
What show is Henry Winkler in recently that I was watching that I just
気をつけて。
loved?
はいはい。
本当にごめん。
Oh, I forget. Oh yeah. He's in
大丈夫。ありがとう。
yeah Barry. Have you guys seen the show? I think it's either on Showtime or HBO. I think it's HBO called Barry. Henry Winkler plays like an acting coach in it, and it's a really good show. It is such a good show. So yeah, Barry.
多分の風ですか？
ただの風邪だと思います。咳と鼻水で。
Oh yeah, and Arrested Development. Yeah. He's even more fun in Barry, I think, if you watch it,
ちょっ
Ken.
と休む方がいいかな。
ね、ちょっと
Let's
ね
see.、
鼻水、様子見て。鼻声でしょ？鼻
ちょっとだけね。
ちょっとだけね。
そして胸がちょっと。
そう苦しい。気管支が苦しいです。
Sorry.
すいません。ちょっと
コンビニでレバンのお茶とか買いましょうか。
お茶？あ、お茶？
なんかあったかいの。
あったかいもの？あ
欲しい
りがとうございます。大丈夫。お水買ってきたから大丈夫。
そう
ありがとう。
あったかいもの欲しくない？
大丈夫。ありがとう。ジュートさん優しいね。
いや、ただすぐ近いどうすんだから。そのね。Steve, I'm not a very tall human being. I'm like 5'9", not very tall at all. Jed's photo with Murata. Oh yeah, thanks Satori. Thanks for showing that. Yeah, that was funny.
そっか。
Yeah.
今日どこへ？
He's taller than me, right?
マッサージ行って。
あ、行くんだ。
Yeah, and that was a good scarf.
そうか。
Anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping that I have some kind of fun run-ins like that at Tokyo Comic Con this year. Also, it's a really small artist alley. Like, it's really only like maybe 30, 40 booths max at this artist alley. And one of the booths is going to be Kim Jung-gi, who is a Korean artist who is like insanely talented. Does anybody know who Kim Jung-gi is? He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. And
There's those big black and white shoes.
yeah, the guy is a savant, and he just draws over an entire wall with no pre-sketch, and I don't know how he does it. Yeah, but Kim Jung-gi will also be at Comic-Con, and actually, Dave, one of my big goals is to do is to do a woodblock print with Mr. Kim.
At that size?
Yeah, at that size. Yeah, we would cut down a sequoia and hack it to bits. Yeah, pine tree would not make a good block. Yeah, so my goal eventually is to get Kim Jung-gi to do a print with me. And his friend, Nicholas Namiri, I've done a print with him now. So
So you're in the loop there.
So hopefully, Mr. Namiri can give me a good recommendation, and then if we can get Mr. Kim to sign on, then we could do a Kim Jong-gi print, which would be huge. It'd be super huge. I would actually come to you for that. I'd be like, oh, dude, you have to do this one.
That's scale, sure.
No. He does small stuff too. I mean, he does the big things for like as like a crowd pleaser, like performance art.
Yeah.
But like he does small things too.
Got me blue.
Somebody says, doesn't he have a photographic memory? Yeah, Bento. Basically, I think he does. Oh yeah. Also, yeah, on Instagram, Kim Jong-gi was wearing one of my shirts one day. That was
his YouTube videos.
that was a good day for me. That was a good day for
In
me.
one of his YouTube videos.
No, it was him posing. I think it was him posing with. I forget who is he posing with, guys, on that. Can I click a link and will it mess up everything, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't click the link. But if you guys can tell me who's Kim Jong-gi posing with on that photo
We can
on
do what we
Instagram.
can do. If we copy the link here, just a sec.
Copy link.
And then if we click it automatically, it'll open Safari, which will bugger up our Wi-Fi. But if we just do this, we can use Chrome.
Okay.
There it is. And then to
Oh,
get
yeah,
back, you go
yeah.
here, Command down.
Oh yeah, okay. Cool. So yeah, anyway, one day Kim Jong-gi was wearing one of my shirts. So that was crazy. The Pokemon shirt. So yeah, he knows who I am. So anyway, I'd love to approach him and do a wood print with him someday. He's so talented. Okay, so he's crazy good. I saw a talk with him. He studies everything and redraws it over and over, so he has a mental image of it when he draws. Amazing. Yeah, Katsuya Terada would also be a great person to do a print with. I love his Monkey King designs. They're really amazing. If you guys like him, yeah. Somebody says, how is Dave's sizing going while talking? How's it going, Dave?
Okay, I'm just basically keeping working.
Are you getting out another batch of paper?
No, I've not finished doing the brushing. Next step will be hanging.
Oh, is that Katsuya Terada in that photo, HB thingy? I didn't know what Katsuya Terada looks like. I didn't know that was him. So wait, that's both of them right there in one image? That's amazing. What are you doing now?
Next step is hanging, but the hanging happens over in the next room. So we have to move all the gear.
So that photo with Kim Jong-gi wearing my shirt, the guy next to him is Katsuya Terada, who I didn't realize that was him. But yeah, he's a very famous mangaka, like super famous and super talented. He does like gallery type stuff too. Anyway, that's crazy. Are we gonna move?
We have to move, which means I think you haven't done this before, right? Cameron and I usually.
How can I help you? Or do you just want to call Cameron? He's coming.
Let's think about it. It may just be doable. What we have to do, because the camera has no battery, so the video has to come down. We will unplug the camera. We'll shut the stream down. I'll move the pieces separately, and we'll be back up and running in about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It'll be a separate stream. So we're going to stop this now. The chat will still going. You can type and take care of yourself while we're gone, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Okay, sounds
Let's
lovely.
do this. Here we go. Going down temporarily. See you again in a couple of minutes.